Hello, and welcome once again to the Rolling Paper Review. Today, we're on episode 7, and today, we've chosen Flava wired rolling papers, mango. They choose to call this massive mango. Now, one of the things that we cover is the appearance of the book. And the reason being is because a lot of times we purchase what appeals to our eyes. Now, the one thing I have to say is this is one of the few rolling papers I've seen that actually has an embossed lid. So they actually have, if you look on the inside of the book here, you'll notice that it dips because the joint and the wire coming off the joint is actually lifted. Quite nice. It's appealing. It's something different. It's nice to see. I know that increases their production cost of that book significantly, and yet they're still pretty cost effective. You don't get as many leaves per book, but again, the added cost in the packaging plus the added cost of placing a wire in each one, really, these guys have gone all out, and they deserve some support for that. Especially considering the novelty. We've all tried Randy's wired, I'm sure, at some point or another, and enjoyed the novelty of that. Well, this is pretty much the same principle, but these ones are flavored. It's not exactly going to be a big secret to you guys, my 420 Nation, that I'm a big fan of flavored papers. And variety is the spice of life. So, let's check these out here. Okay, so that's your rolling paper. Your wire will be on the bottom, your gum will be on the top. Now, the one thing about wired rolling papers is they really assist in nice straight roll. That I give props to, especially if you're not very good at rolling straight joints, if you tend to roll a bit pregnant. I highly encourage a wired rolling paper in that particular instance. So the other thing I say to those people who roll the pregnant joints is use your baby finger as I do and just evenly spread your medicine out so that you have it evenly spaced across the joint. That just aids into a much smoother roll than from the center out. But with these guys, it's like that wire creates a perfect tuck bar. So, as you bring it down, get your tightness where you like it, it becomes very easy to tuck, and like it rolls just amazingly straight. And it's simple to roll straight. I know you guys have seen me roll perfectly straight before, but with these things, it's just insanely easy. These were the first kind of rolling papers, not Flava particularly, but wired rolling papers were the first ones that I started to roll straight with. So, let's give them a whirl. Really nice blast of flavor. Like, really nice. Quite enjoyable. When you lick your lips, it's just really right there. You can taste the flavoring in the smoke as well when you inhale it. And that, as you know, in my opinion, good quality to have. Now, the one thing I will say is that this is fairly thick paper. The ash density on this, not too hot. You get a lot of flyaways, especially from around the wire. The one thing you got to watch for with these is you got to toke it slow, otherwise you're going to get a lot of runs. The paper itself just has a pretty basic straight line watermark on it, which isn't really that effective in preventing runs. So, and as you can see, the ash density, not that great. So you get a lot of flyaways. Again, around the wire, the paper literally just kind of falls off and shakes off. So the ash density on this, it's not horrible, not great either though. So that ash is about to break off and fall off. So but here's another nice thing about the wired rolling papers. You have a built-in roach clip right there. So you can literally smoke these pretty much right down to nothing. Don't have to pull out any extra accessories, which in some parts of the world can bring down a little extra heat that nobody wants. So, you know, if you want to smoke down to nothing and leave practically no evidence but a burnt wire, this is the route to go. Flavor is still really good. However, I will admit I can taste a little bit of that burnt paper flavor, and I'm not a big fan of that. That's one of the things that tends to make me steer clear of using the thicker papers in my collection to actually smoke with. Oh, there goes some ash there. Got more flyaways on it. So, you know, ash density is not going to get a great score. You know, these papers do have a very high novelty value too. So, keep that in mind. It's kind of like when a musician or something like that lends their name or makes a business arrangement to put their own papers out there. They may not even be the greatest papers, but you know what? A lot of us just gotta have them because our favorite people are on them, whether they be comedian duo Cheech and Chong, because I have Cheech and Chong papers, I have Tommy Chong papers, whether that be Snoop Dogg, whether that be Wiz Khalifa, I Rolling Stones even. I've had to add these to my collection. They were must-haves on my list. So anytime when you got that novelty of something, that novelty of it, if it's marketed properly, will sell it, and these are proof. Okay, so yeah, you know, like I said, the ash density, not that great. Flavor's still decent, but like I said, you get a little bit of that burnt paper taste. You can smell a little bit of the burnt paper in the ambient smell in the room too, so, you know. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over, and I'm going to do some grading here. Okay, so for appearance, I'm going to give them actually a 10 out of 10. I think they did a fantastic job representing their product. I really do. High gloss finish on the books, the lifted element, you know, the kitsch of the name Flava. You know, like, really they did a fantastic job. So for me, they got a 10 out of 10 on appearance. For scent, they're going to get an 8 out of 10. They could have made their scent quite a bit stronger, but it's good. It has a pleasurable scent to it. For the roll, any wired paper for me for roll is automatically getting a 10 out of 10, just because if you need to learn how to roll straight, a wired rolling paper is the way to go. Now I'd like to take this opportunity to let you know that down below you there's a subscribe button that lets you hook up to my channel, and it'll let you know every time when I post a new video, which pretty much every, 3, 4, 2 days, whatever. So please do that. Lend some support and some love to this channel. There's a like button down over here that you can hit. I think it's down over this way anyways. You can hit this like button and show your love that way for our videos. You can share us on your Facebook page, all that stuff. Feel free to show us your love in any way possible. And also, feel free to leave us comments. Let us know what rolling papers you want us to cover for you.